Listen, we got to take a break. It's 6:48. We've got the quarter-hour break. And then when we come back, we're going to have a few minutes to talk about the NDAA and our congressional failure at the House of Representatives yesterday to withdraw those two offensive amendments that were put into that NDAA bill. So we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. It's 6:48, and we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Joe?
Yeah.
Did you hear that about that the NDAA thing?
No, I didn't.
There was a Smith Amash Amendment which was rejected, and so indefinite detention is still the law. And guess who voted against it? All the fucking Republicans.
You kidding?
Nope. And guess who was amongst them? Joanne Emerson.
Wow.
By the way, here's an interesting thing. You know, I spoke to her at this Lincoln Day event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I invited her on the show. She said, "Oh, absolutely. I got a call from one of her staff members. I gave her a date. It was 2 weeks ago. She never showed up. I called again, and she never showed up again. I called this guy, and I said, I'm giving you an opportunity to be on the radio here in a local community that is in the heart of the area that you serve, and you don't even have the courtesy to give me a call back." And he was like, "Well, she'll be traveling. She's very busy." Basically, he gave me the FU. So going forward, I'm going to continue to keep the invitation. We are going to talk between now and the next 10 minutes about this NDAA thing because I am smoking mad, folks. Do you know why I'm smoking mad? I'm going to tell you why I'm smoking mad. Yesterday afternoon, an amendment came up called the Smith Amash Amendment, and this was two congressmen dial tone on the radio. Ooh. Somebody hit the wrong button. And the other guy is Justin Amash or Amish. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his last name. And he's a Republican from Michigan. Well, they put up this new bill to repeal the indefinite detention provisions of the NDAA. And you all know how much I hate that bill. Well, guess what? Our House of Representatives, led by Republicans, refused to repeal that stuff. Now, I'll tell you what, I am so angry right now that our Congress, who knows how we feel about this, has the unmitigated gall to completely ignore the fact that we have made it very clear. Judge, I'll tell you how bad this is. A federal judge on Monday blocked enforcement of the NDAA, indefinite detention provisions, in a New York lawsuit. Now, this is a federal judge who blocked enforcement. And you got to hear what she had to say, because it's just mind-blowing. I'll see if I can't find her quote. But she said that the federal government is hereby got an injunction against them from utilizing or deploying the NDAA as under the taking of American citizens until such time as either the court rules a second time or Congress modifies the law. Now, this is a judge, folks, so I don't want to hear any crappy little senator or crappy little House of Representatives member sit there and try to tell me that they know better than what I read myself. I am educated, I'm well informed, and I'm here to tell you the NDAA is the end of America. It is the most unpatriotic, treasonous document that has been put before us since the Patriot Act. And I am ticked off. Now, our House of Representatives, led by the Republicans, voted almost overwhelmingly on the Republican side to allow this piece of trash to stand. And I'll tell you what, if you're a Republican out there and you voted for that, get out! Get out of our house now! Because I am telling you, I am smoking mad, and I will work against every one of you. I'm going to pull your names up. I've already got it actually printed out, and I'm going to start reading the names off of every traitorous, treasonous piece of trash that represents themselves as a Republican in this nation, because I am sick to death of your double talk, your lies, your misrepresentations, and your screwing of the American people. You're on notice. Joanne Emerson, you voted for this. You did not. You had an opportunity to pull this amendment out, and you didn't do it. You voted for it the first time, and you voted against repealing it yesterday. You are on notice, young lady. I am going after you. I'm going after you with everything I've got. I'm going to make sure that everybody within the sound of my voice and within the sound of my pen understands where you stand. You call yourself a Republican, but I'm here to tell you, you are not. You are not standing for what the people, to represent the people properly. You've had an opportunity to take this thing back. You didn't do it. You voted for it the first time. You made a major mistake. You had an opportunity to correct the mistake, and you doubled down on it. And I am sick to death of that kind of nonsense. Don't tell me that you represent me. You sent me a letter, and I'm going to bring it in next week, and I'm going to read it. You sent me a letter telling me that this was for my own good, that it doesn't have an effect on Americans, that they cannot be held in detention indefinitely without court access. Let me tell you something. You can be, and I guarantee you can be, because a federal judge just agreed with me and doesn't agree with you. You're not a lawyer. You're not a constitutional attorney. So you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just following the party line that you were told to ride with, and that's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Now, I've invited you here onto this show. I met you and spoke with you, and I had an opportunity to talk to you about coming onto this show. You said you would. And yet I've spoken to your staff. They've blown me off. They've spun me off. You're too busy. You're traveling. You're on an airplane. With all due respect, if you're on an airplane, it better be somewhere between West Plains and Cape Girardeau. I'm telling you, I'm going on the attack on this NDAA thing. I'm going to, you know what? State legislatures are passing constitutional amendments against the federal government using the NDAA against their citizens. Lady, we're not all wrong. We are not wrong. This was a treasonous act. It was traitorous. And if you are participating in it, and you clearly are, then you fall in line with that description. And I've had it. I want everyone within the sound of my voice to get on the phone with her office, to write her a letter, send her email, and don't take no for an answer. Get on the phone with her office, folks, and start dialing her number and demand an answer as to why she would not repeal the NDAA provisions that allow for indefinite detention of Americans. It's your future, your life, your children's lives. You must hold these people accountable. And the only way to hold them accountable is to actually have some access to them. Now, I guarantee you'll never talk to her. You'll talk to some aide in her office. Guess what? Call and call and call and call and call and call. Don't let up. Because you know what? This is going to be an election issue. The American people are sick and tired of lying, thieving, two-faced, bloated, marshmallow people sitting up on Capitol Hill playing with our lives as if we're just pawns on a board. I'm sick of it. And I pray that you will be as incensed and angry and determined to do something about it as I am. This is the only bully pulpit I've got, folks, but I guarantee you I'm going to make it good for all it's worth.